everyone. So as it's Mental Health Awareness Week and it's all about kindness matters, kindness sounds really simple, but as I know from recent occurrences, that it really can not only help someone's mental health, but really save their sanity. As you may know, I received some horrid hate mail, but then my friends and online lovers, that sounds bizarre, online lovers, I wish I had more of them, my friends online counteracted it with messages of love, hope. I got lots of love letters through my door to counteract some of the hate, and really kindness, especially in challenging times, matters so much. So I wanted to chat to some of my friends as well, because it's always problem shared, problem halved, about a bit about trolling and judgment, but most of all, tips to be kindness and just how powerful kindness is. It's so basic, but it's something that we seem to have lost a lot in today's world. So I've got my lovely friend Amy from A Mum Full of Dreams.
Hi everyone.
Got Millie Mitchell, who is a fabulous makeup artist. Hi. What would you say kindness means to you?
I've had to postpone my wedding, which was meant to be this summer, so I had a virtual hen do on the day that should have been my hen do down in Ipswich, and loads of people turned up, and it just, that sort of like making the effort for somebody else really, really mattered to me. So I think it's just doing something to make someone happy without the expectation of it coming back to you.
You even got a footballer, didn't you, at your hen do?
My favourite footballer ever, and again, that's a lovely act of kindness. He and I follow each other on Twitter, so I messaged him and said, "Oh Matt, do you fancy coming on and like presenting the sports round for me in my quiz?" And he came back and he was like, "Oh, I've got my own family quiz that night, so I couldn't do much, but I'll definitely try and pop on for you." And he came on and he said hello to everyone, and I was like, oh my god, like it was fate that I ended up with a virtual hen do, and it meant that my favourite probably person in the whole world was able to be there for it. I was very, very, very excited. But again, that was another sort of act of kindness, and I think to an extent there is a lot of really high profile people doing things like that at the moment, isn't there, where they're, you know, like celebrities are sending messages out and just doing nice little things, but everybody is actually, it's a really nice feeling.
Yeah. And what about you, Millie? Just one moment, I've got a child in the background putting on YouTube. Turn off the YouTube, Jazz, if you want to sit in here.
I don't know, kindness is like, I don't know, I think I'm like quite a kind person, and I don't know if anyone else ever feels like this, but I always expect people to treat me the way I treat them, you know, so I would never purposefully like want to offend or upset anybody, so I just expect that back, really, you know. And like, you know, like Amy was just saying, like it goes a long way when someone's been on you, even if it is just a little message saying, hey, how you doing? Especially like you say at times like this where like we don't really know what normal life is anymore. It's kind of like surreal, isn't it? So I think it is really important just to send like a little message to, you know, people who are in your life, and just say, how are things going? You know, try to take the mind off things and talk about, you know, things that they might be focusing on right now, or if people are, you know, you've got friends who are on the front line, like one of my best friends, you know, she's still going out to work every single day, and the stuff that she's having to deal with is like really taking a toll on her. So, you know, I know that she really appreciates it if we like do like a Zoom call with her, or you know, check in every other day and just see how she's doing, really. You know, it does go a long way and it doesn't go unnoticed.
There is so much more like kindness than there is hate, and it's easy, I think, to focus on the hate. So I know that I was totally taken down by the hate for a bit, which I think you're allowed to be. Then you've got to also kind of recognise the kind acts that people do, because we always naturally focus on the negative. Do you know, somebody said something nasty, like I was saying to you guys earlier, some days I'm online, somebody will say I'm too skinny or too fat, too chubby, too skeletal. You're literally like, you focused on all the negatives, you're literally just bamboozled. Whereas I also get hundreds more comments like, by you just being yourself, you've really helped me, or you've transformed. Like, I was having these awful feelings about my own mental health, and now you've helped share. And sometimes it's hard to focus on them, and we just naturally want to go, yeah, but they've said that I'm this.
Yeah. And I think sometimes they pick up on like the worst beliefs you have in yourself as well, and that's why it resonates, because you spend so much time telling yourself. So for me, I had a few years ago, I've got over on sort of another life on Twitter, I've got a football account which has got quite a few followers, for an account that I haven't really like promoted or anything. And sort of among Ipswich fans, I would say, particularly on social media, a lot of them know my name. And for the most part, people are really supportive, but because they don't always agree with me, I get quite a lot of grief. And it can be really, really nasty, really personal stuff. I've had people go onto my Facebook and take screenshots of videos of me with the kids. I've had people posting, you know, ugly bitch, ugly C word, lots and lots of stuff that's just really like, it keeps going. And it's when it's the barrage of again and again and again and again. And I know that actually some of them are actually really reasonable people in real life, but they just, for some unknown reason, feel the need to completely slate me online. The worst point with all of that stuff, all of that trolling that I was getting, happened around when I just self-referred for postnatal depression. So it just all spiraled to a point where I didn't want to leave my bedroom. And that was part of it, was the fact that my comfort, social media, where I got to escape for a while, had become this horrible barrage of abuse where I felt the need to defend myself because I was feeling so crap in myself anyway. So it's this horrible thing of, I don't really get why people feel the need to do it, but also if we could just say to them, look, this person is literally on the edge, just back off a bit.
If you do feel a certain way about me before you know it, instead of like judging like a book by its cover, sit down and speak to me, and or any person in for that matter, you know, anyone that makes you feel that way. Instead of just jumping the gun and being like, well, I don't like you because, you know, you come across as being a confident, vain bitch or whatever. Sit down and speak to them, and, you know, that's where you learn a lot about people, because I've done it. I bet everyone's done it, where they've looked at someone and thought, you for real? And then you sat down and then they've become like your best friend, you know. It's crazy. But I think it's just, we need to stop judging people, you know, by just looking at them and getting to know them as a person to start with. And those people that are attacked online, you know, these people who were being keyboard warriors, not in a million years do they have the balls to say that to your face. So that's what you've got to look at it as. Like, would they come to meet you in a cafe and say what they say online? No, they won't have the balls. So you've got to kind of just look at it as, hi Carron. Look at it as, you know, get from behind your keyboards and come meet me in person, and we'll have it out there.
Hey ladies,
Carron from Simple Ladies.
You know, I've had trolling once before in my life, and it was awful. Absolutely awful. But when I look back on that situation, I think there were so many things that I could have done, and there's so many things that other people could have done as well. I think you have to be so what's the word to put it? You have to be so, you have to work as a team. For example, if I see that somebody has trolled you and I'm watching that you're getting trolled, it's my responsibility to be like, no, this isn't right. There's the place and a time for this, right? And looking at the individual, it's an individual thing, because if I'm going to go and troll you and then not thinking about you as a person, I'm going to say, for example, I've got a problem with Millie right now. I'm going to go troll Millie. I don't know how you woke up that morning. I don't know how you woke up that morning. I don't know what you went through yesterday. I don't know what you went through the day before. I don't have a clue. But I'm going to go take it upon myself to come and troll you. It's not just that, when I say it's an individual thing, it's more than just what I'm doing to you. It's about what I'm doing to myself, because I can't be happy as a person and go and inflict hate on a person. It's nothing to do with it. It becomes more about the person that's doing the trolling than actually the person that actually is being trolled. But I think it's a whole thing. Because like when I got trolled last year for the first time in my life, it was like it was so much bigger than what they were saying, and like I felt like I was just a guinea pig, you know, the scapegoat. I was the scapegoat that they used because obviously I'm the head of the organization, and they wanted to just destroy me. Now, to want to destroy somebody, then it's saying something about what you've created, right? So they don't like the fact that I've created this company that people love, and my revenge was, now I'm a feisty person. I can be very feisty, and I stick up for myself, and I don't. But in that instant, my sister was like, "Do not say anything." And do you know how hard it was not to say anything in that time when I wanted to just rip off their heads like and go mad, but I didn't. So she said, "Your success will be the best revenge." And you always see these quotes going around here or there talking about that. And I was like, but there was so much betrayal. But there's always blessings in everything. So in these situations when people are trying to drag you down, you and troll you, you have to remember in those times your blessings, your self-worth, because in these moments you can be so it can be just taken. People have lost their lives through trolling.
I think as well it takes more courage to be kind.
Oh, 100%.
It's easy, isn't it? It's easy to like hate people or bitch about people. That's easy because you can always find something in someone. Like it's easy to like, you know, if you see something you think, oh, they're doing well, I do think you can make a conscious choice. And I always say this, you can either be, I'm jealous of them, or I want to learn from them. And you make that choice.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's harder? It takes more courage to be kind.
I think just naturally humans want. I think because I've over the years I've always challenged myself. If I think anything negative, even about the trolls, I try and think about behind them. But I actually think sometimes in this society people have forgotten how to be kind.
Whilst we're on this topic, I wanted to share something. So I've been doing the free P. Louise course that she's got on her website.
Oh yeah, I love it. I've been doing it.
And she did one, like a Q&A on how she deals with negativity, because obviously, you know, she's like come from nothing, built herself up, and you know, while she gets a lot of love, she gets the negativity and the trolls and the hate on top. So she made like a few really good points that I wrote down that I thought I absolutely love that. And she basically says that if people are talking about you, then you must be relevant and you must be interesting.
Exactly.
And if people are talking about you in a group of people, that means people know who you are and they've heard your name. So you've got to look at it as much as it hurts.
Positively.
You've got to build up an attitude as to being that they're your fans. If you're a fan, thank you for checking into my notifications and keeping my interaction high.
Yes.
That's such a good way.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes. P. Louise, I love her. I love P. Louise.
Like, whilst they're wanting to spread all this negative energy on your social media, they're the ones that have got the notifications on to see when you're posting, because they're so interested in what you're doing.
Supporters.
So they're your number one fans. So you keep spreading that hate, but hon, you're the one that's keeping my interaction high. So thanks for the hate.
100%. So it's always
and I just absolutely love that. I thought that is 100% true. Like, whilst you're sat there trying to show this negativity, I'm sorry, hon, but like, who's winning? Who's winning?
We are team winning over here.
I know.
That's what I mean.
The bigger that I grow, or the more on paper anyway successful online I am, then the more trolls I get. So literally, if I see a spike in growth, I will see a spike in trolling. And you have to, like you say, take that as a compliment, because you kind of think, well, I must be doing something right because you're watching. I haven't got the
Yeah.
time actually to watch a lot of stuff that I'd like
Yeah, exactly.
to watch.
Exactly.
It's so true, honestly. Like, that's basically just turning like a negative into a positive, because like you said, Sophie, it's so hard for you to constantly look at the negative aspect of things rather than those people who are spreading so much love and support on your page. Do you know what I mean? So that's a good way to look at it. It's being like, so they're sat there taking the time out of their day to write a shitty comment on your post. God knows why, you know, because it's definitely not making them feel any better.
I think that we have to learn to teach people concepts, like how to grasp that concept when someone's horrible to them. Because I know some girls that are so strong in regards to blocking negativity out. Like my friend Rosie, she's really good like that. Rosie doesn't take no negative. Like, right, take that negative out, right, bye. She just looks it, pushes it out. You're good like that as well, Millie. Like, you ain't got time for that. Like, you know, right, out, right. Literally, they do not tolerate the conversations going negative. That's it. They trust who they trust in regards to personal, because you don't give too much out about yourself. If you've got a business page, give your business what the business needs. If you've got a personal page, give your personal business what your personal business needs. But you don't have to share everything, because some people will take that, but at the same time, you should have freedom of speech as well. You should have the freedom to do what you want to do and not be judged. I think people need, it's a concept, how people perceive people and how people react to people. Is people need to learn a concept, and we need to, how can we become educators and teach people what to do and how to use our platform? We've all got platforms, we're on social media. How do we use that platform to reinforce positive attitudes to people?
What's the most, like, the kindest thing anyone's done for you?
One that's obviously quite fresh is like what Jordan did for me last night. So she shared a little post on Facebook, just basically telling people, I recently quit my job to pursue my dreams. And Jordan was just basically saying that she loves every look I do on her, even though it wouldn't be something she would normally do on herself.
I love that.
Or choose for herself, and she loves it every single time. And it was basically just like sharing my pages and asking people to like support me, within my journey. And also, that's another thing yesterday. So my following on my makeup page shot up to 700 from, I think it was like 400 and something.
Really?
At the end of March. So I was absolutely buzzing about that. And I just thought that means so much that people are wanting to like see what I'm doing. They're following my journey. And it just means a lot. It goes a long way. It really doesn't go unnoticed. And that's like, it's just kind, isn't it? That they're taking the time out to follow me and they want to see like what I'm doing. It's so lovely. It's really, really nice.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Thanks so much, everyone who follows me.
100%. I always do my best to make sure that, because I've got a thing about when people first starting out. I really, because I remember how it was when I first started out. I had so many doors closed in my face. So many gatekeepers, down to Abby saying she's going to support me, never really did. So many people. And I just thought, right, when I get there to a place, I'm going to do whatever I can to help somebody come up, Yeah, man, I'm so proud of you, Millie. You keep on going.
Like you was talking about your friend Jordan, it's all about, well, our friends, but obviously online.
We've been sharing her, girl.
Yeah. But it is those like acts where people just lift you up, and I think they're the really kind ones. So I often say this, for me, obviously recently it's been how the whatever my friends and supporters have lifted me out of the black hole of like having it was more than hate mail, it was a trail of abuse. But how people lifted me, like literally I had people who I know, luckily, on my doorstep, like delivering things, dropping around letters to counteract, and there were so many more acts. And I thought, everyone's stressed at the moment, everyone's overwhelmed, and the fact that people are taking their time to actually lift me out of this really dark place. And actually, and also it was the words that people have said to me, whether it be in message or on a comment, when people just get you, that to me is like the best feeling, is when somebody goes, like with me, it's, we know you're different, because I never fit into my little groups that I go to. We know you're different, but that's exactly what we love about you. And that like, that to me means so much, because, and it is learning that journey of being authentic as well, because I think I'm getting there to be true to myself. But obviously with that, you're not gonna then, I was always a people pleaser, so then it is that battle that I'm going through. But yes, for me it's those moments where people just get you and accept you. That's the kindest thing. And Amy, what would you say, what's one of the kindest things?
I think when this is my eldest Harry, my youngest
Harry.
he's just I think with Harry I had postnatal depression, so I think just people checking in on me when James was born last year. And there was one day where my friend who I'm really, really close with messaged me to say, how are you okay? And I just put back no, and because I was pacing the living room, I could not get James to stop crying. I was doing it for hours. I didn't know what to do. And she got on the bus and she came up to the house and she took the baby off me, and literally the minute she got here I was able to just offload stuff that was going on in my head, which quite often when you've got a little baby you can't, because you're on your own all day. So I offloaded. I think I went and had a bath while she was there. She bought me chocolate, and it was just like you say, Sophie, she gets me. She just knew exactly what I needed. So I think in general there is so much you can do that is just a little, and it might not seem like much to you, but sending a message, are you okay? I've just sent a little sort of affirmations pack to my friend who's pregnant and is struggling at the minute, quite understandably. It didn't take much for me to do it, but I know that it really helped her. So I think there's just lots of really little things. Sending a card, I've sent a couple of cards to my mum with pictures of the boys. Sorry. Maybe just take the kids off them for a few hours. That's a nice act of kindness as well.
It's how people make you feel. That's what you remember, is how they make you feel. It's not about, you know, who's got how much money or how many awards or whatnot. I can't say who, but I've been talking to like a celebrity, I guess, quite a high profile one. And ever since I met him, he has treated me with so much respect, and I will always stick up for him and remember him no matter what. And you know, you understand why some people are really successful, because they will be kind to everyone and they will not judge. And actually, kindness is a power. It's a success. It's a really success in society, but also in yourself when you're kind. So thank you so much, my lovely kind friends. And please do use the hashtag kindness matters this mental health awareness week. Do 100 love, big up your sisters, your brothers, everyone. And thank you again, Carron, Millie and Amy. And keep following everyone's journeys, and we'll put all the links and whatnot in.
Millie, make sure you share your blog post on the Simple Ladies as well.
I will do.
All of them, so that we can get more people to see what you're doing.